I got a video today about a woman who says and makes it clear why women aren't accountable. It's a good video. Brilliant video, in fact. It's clear, it's concise, and it's something that I think hits on quite a few points as to why women may not be accountable or why they struggle with it. Let's be fair. There's issues out here, There's issues with genders in general, but it's a video where she is basically responding to a comment about her, giving men some form of positive, remarks, and her speaking positively at times about men. Watch this video and let me know.
I made a post this morning, and the post said, if a woman is not trying to help you, then she's trying to use you. Get rid of her. Simple as that. Obviously, women will take a post like that. What the F you mean? We ain't gotta help these niggas. These niggas ain't kings. These niggas is peasants. These niggas ain't shit. You a pick me. You always trying to vouch for the man. And what about a man helping a woman? And, the same old. And so there's so many things that I have to say to that. But before I go too far in, I'm going to start by saying this. I think women don't understand that when you constantly have to display to the world your dislike for men, or when you constantly have to display to the world that men aren't this and men aren't that, and F these men and they ain't this, and I'm not doing this for no man, and F the... You don't understand that people who are healed or people who have done or is doing the work is able to identify that. You don't understand that when people see you ranting in that way about men in such a negative regard, because it seems like me speaking respectfully about men triggers a lot of you women. And it's not that it's because y'all feel like these men ain't shit. It's because you have not done the work on yourself. You are choosing not to heal yourself from whoever hurt you. I've been betrayed in the worst way. I've been cheated on. I've been lied to. I've been played with. I had men trying to, a man trying to, take money up out of my pocket and was spending it elsewhere when he was saying it was going other places. The point of the matter is this. I've had my fair share of men trying to play games. But the difference is I never held on to it. When I got cheated on, I didn't hold on to that. When I got played, I didn't hold on to that. It literally made me a better woman. It made me wiser. It made me learn how to use my discernment. It made me choose better men. It made me not deal with men at all, but in a healthy way. It made me focus more on myself. It taught me how to master myself. Self-mastery, as rich queen or whatever, Lilith, whatever her name is, as she say, self-mastery. It literally taught me how to just kind of make better decisions and better choices when it came to men.
So there you have it. She makes it clear as to why women don't have accountability a lot of the time. You heard her say it majorly clear. So these are the issues that, can be faced. They don't get over their trauma. They go into in environments, maybe relationships that they put themselves in. People may say, oh, but he changed. No, there were things you weren't privy to, or you were privy, but accepted it and thought things may change down the line. Or there were other aspects of him that you liked. So you put up with it. But if you go into that with that sort of, in my opinion, disposition, you're not going to be able to see things clearly. You're always going to think, oh, but he does this some days, and then other days, I don't like what he does here. So you're not going to think from a logical standpoint, because you're not getting over the issues that you've allowed yourself to be in over different experiences. So when a woman like her is speaking positively about a man in a certain context, you take offense to it. Some women will take offense to it. She can speak from that perspective in a positive light because she's done the work. So these are the issues sometimes. You've got to do, it seems, just the basics of doing the work, which is hard to come to the conclusion on, because a lot of women may think, oh, I've been hurt, so that man, he deserves the issues. I wasn't the one that caused any issue in a relationship. But you can't be perfect in a relationship. And on top of that, the reason why it's best for you to do the work is because you then have now knowledge moving forward. You can now pinpoint the areas where you accepted stuff, or pinpoint the areas where you weren't doing certain things right, in how you thought about certain things in the relationship and what you chose to accept in a relationship. So These are the things you've got to get over that trauma. Then you are able to make better moves because now you are clear in your thinking. That's how life works. You go through something, you learn from it. But at the same time, you shouldn't even have to be in those situations in the first place because I know a lot of women, in my opinion, know the circumstances they're in, but they choose it. They try and make a rationalized decision on the situation of, oh, but he does this in certain areas that are good. But then at the same time, I'm hoping he changes. But at the same time, maybe you're insecure at that time, or maybe you know what's better, but you're hanging around for whatever reason, coming up with all these maybe assessments as to why. But really and truly, if you're going with someone that is not the best, that's mainly on you. So you have to look into that. And then on top of that, be able to accept other people who are giving positive reviews on men, because not everyone has that, that trauma and are continually staying in it. Some people are moving on by doing the work.
Like, I've been a single mom. I've been through all of the things that most women go through because we're all pretty much going through the same experiences, but a lot of y'all are not learning from your experiences. So all it does is make you more upset. And then when you see somebody who's not in that same dark space that you may be in, you get mad at that woman. I am not a bitter woman. I have never let what a man did to me or anything that a man have done to me, I never let that make me a bitter woman or a mad, angry woman and F these men. I never felt like that. And I've been played before. And even then, I never felt like that. I always went back to the drawing board to see what could I have done better.
And then when you go back to the drawing board, for example, that's where you can get the information that you need to now move better. That's all this is about. It's for your benefit. You see, pointing the fingers at this person that you maybe have stayed with for long periods because you chose to, that is on you, unfortunately. That is on the person. So that person will be better suited to learn from that by saying, oh, what did I do? Or what could I have done better? So then when you're moving forward, it's easier to move. You now got more knowledge. But because in certain situations, you want to point the finger and say, this person was doing this and this and this and this. Okay, but you were accepting it. So the best bet is for you to now accept that fact, get the knowledge from it, look at ways you can think better, because now you've gone through something, and then move accordingly to hopefully get the better option. Because without doing that, you're not going to get that kind of person to come to you and accept, because they will see the issues. If they are in a positive state, a guy will generally see, especially if he's managing his life decently and well. He will see, he will sense, he will hear the things you say. So this is why it's beneficial for you. So you now have the ability to mitigate issues going forward because you're privy to the things you should be looking for. Or again, you're now into gear in terms of how you should be thinking, because more often than not, in my humble opinion, women will know, but now these bad issues that you may go through with men triggers you to say, I'm tired of it. Now I'm going to now do what I know I've already known before, but I'm now going to put it into process.
I always went back to the drawing board to see, okay, how can I try to go around another man like this? And I can honestly say that my men always got better. Any man that I ever dated was always better. And then not to mention, anytime something went wrong with a situation, it never made me want to go outside and get loose and get my lick back. It always made me want to try to unplug from society, go back to the drawing board, get myself together. What can I work on? What can I better within myself? Anytime I ever got played by a man, I always wanted to up the score with myself. I always wanted to become a better self. It was never about finding a better man or a man with more money, or I'm gonna show him that I'm gonna get my lick back, I'm gonna get pregnant. It was never ever that mindset. Not even as a young 18-year-old girl. I got cheated on and got my heart broke at 20. But now as I'm getting older, what I'm starting to realize is, you say that these men ain't kings, these men ain't kings, they peasants, they ain't this, they ain't that. No, baby, those are the men you're dealing with. You keep running into peasants, you keep running into the Pookies and the Ray Rays, and it could be because you're not the queen that you think you are. It could be because maybe you Pookiana. It could be because a lot of y'all are not really who y'all think you are. You are attracting what you are. You are not attracting who you think you are. And that's the difference. A lot of y'all get up here and think because you look a certain way that means you're a certain way, or because you still mean memes and use Chat GPT to put your thought process together, that means you who you think you are. You really got to be who you are. And in order to get those results, you have to be that person. I don't attract those men that you're talking about, because men can see right through that. Men can see right through y'all. A lot of y'all are not who you pretend to be, and y'all are upset that you want to attract the kings but don't know how. But I'm gonna tell you something. It's because you just not who you think you are. And it's that simple. That's a hard pill to swallow, though.
Trust me, she's right. Men do know. The ones who are, again, leading their lives well and decently, they know when they come across someone that's not in the right state. They know. In order for you to get what you need, generally, the best bet is to just do the work on yourself. Do the work on how you think. Look at the things that you're supposed to look at that are important for a man to have, especially if you're looking for potentially a long-term, husband relationship, down the line. Because at the end of the day, you're not going to get it by just thinking from this negative standpoint. And being able to, she mentioned about attracting certain types of people. You can attract them. Yeah, they can come to you, but are you accepting their advances? You can have the ones that are no good, ain't ish, as you women say. But at the same time, if they're coming, are you accepting their advances? That's the question. Are you accepting their advances? I could say, oh, I only want a wife, but I'm also accepting the advances of women that don't come across in the way that I want as a wife. But if I keep accepting that, the onus is on me. I can have anything come to me or be attracted to me. What am I doing after that process? Or after that encounter, after that, initial moment? Am I accepting? Am I knowing what's privy to look at or not? And if you're not, and you're constantly going through certain circumstances and situations with, in this case, guys, as a woman, there has to be something that you are not doing, or not privy to, or not healed from previous experiences. It requires a lot of introspection, a lot of being out of the game, so you can get your thoughts clear, concise, and honest with yourself. What is important in a guy? The superficial aspects that a lot of you women like, or the character that you can see the actions from, the plan the person says he has for you, and has a duration. If it's marriage, has a duration for it, has a time to get married, and it's putting steps to it. So there's a lot of things you women can't really complain on, because there are things you can look at to mitigate. Nothing is always absolute in this world, but there's a lot of things you can do to mitigate. And this is where she's basically saying, do the work so you can get the result. It will be interesting to find out what people think. Like the video, but let me know.